y'all, Brooke Williamson here in the Triple Threat Kitchen. The clocks aren't running today, we're under a little less stress, and we can just chat all things today, shellfish. These are some of my favorites here. We've got 5 varieties of shellfish, and I'm gonna go through each one and explain them a little bit. Manila clams are your most common Pacific clam. They're sweet, they're meaty, they're really versatile. They can be made in a lot of different ways, like linguine and clams. Very few things can beat a steamed clam with just some white wine and garlic. Below that is a different type of clam. These are razor clams. They're very different in shape. This guy's open, and actually a lot of times the way that you can tell freshness of a clam or a mussel is when they start to open. That means potentially they're dying. That's not the case with this guy right now. You can actually sort of squeeze them a little bit. You can see they're alive. They start to come out of the shell when they're comfortable and relaxed, but if you touch them, they tend to go back into their shell and close up. They actually breathe by opening, so you don't want to mistake a dead clam for a clam that's just breathing. Razor clams are the clams you find most often either fried or turned into a chowder of some sort. You can see the meat of the razor clam is very long and lean. You can steam them open and eat them as a steamed clam or turn them into a chowder. Or if you want to fry them, you sort of run your knife along the inside, separate the muscle from the shell, and then you can go ahead, remove that inside stomach, and then dredge them, fry them. They're absolutely delicious with a little aioli or some tomato sauce to dip into. Delicious. If you haven't tried a razor clam, I highly recommend it. Next to that, we have rock shrimp. The shell is almost like a rock because they're such a deep water shrimp. They have a really beautiful sweetness. They're almost closer in flavor to a lobster than they are a regular shrimp. They actually are very difficult to overcook, so they're great in stews and soups. You almost never find rock shrimp in the shell. Because those shells are so difficult to get off, generally people do that for you. Then we have blue shrimp. These are much closer to the shrimp that you would find in a seafood Louis salad or some grilled shrimp. You'll find blue shrimp in the supermarket in abundance. Very sweet, really delicious in flavor. They don't have that sort of metallic iodine flavor that you find sometimes in shrimp. These are sweet, beautiful shrimp cocktail shrimp. Also on the Pacific Coast, you find oysters. I have a few friends who would venture to say that the East Coast is the place to get oysters. And I do agree on some levels, but I will say there are more varietals of oysters on the West Coast than there are on the East Coast. We have Pacific oysters, very aptly named from the Pacific Ocean. We also have Kumamotos, and we have Olympia oysters. They range in size. They're all relatively similar in flavor. The West Coast has the sort of sweeter, creamier flavored oysters. The East Coast oysters tend to be a bit brinier, have a bit more salinity. The West Coast oysters are creamier and sweeter. And it's really just a matter of preference. These are Kumamoto oysters. Kumamotos are a great sort of starter oyster for someone who hasn't eaten a lot of oysters and wants something really mild and creamier and sweeter in flavor. They're actually great for grilling. They pop open really beautifully on a grill. Delicious oysters. There's your hot shellfish tips from the Pacific Coast. Some might say the West Coast is the best coast. That might be me. If you haven't tried any of these shellfish, go out and get you some. You won't regret it.